So we got over 300 new clients at our shop last month, and that's actually been the average. So every single month, we're getting usually over 300 new clients every single month. So we've gotten really, really good at marketing, and I think that it depends on the stage of the journey that you're in as a barber or a barbershop owner. But I can tell you one thing that took me way too long to learn, and it's that marketing is not going to save your business, right? So this take this coming from me. I've owned a barbershop since 2015. We do over seven figures in revenue every single year now. And I can tell you that the most important thing when you're getting started is you got to know how to market, right? You got to let people know you exist. You got to just get butts in the seats. But after a certain amount of time, what I started to notice was, especially after I started hiring new barbers, was that okay, we're getting plenty of people, but like, why do I have to keep looking for new clients every single month? Like, what happened to the clients that were already coming? So, in this video, what I'm gonna try to the point that I'm gonna try to make is you need to get started when you're opening a shop. Like you got to get the word out, right? If you're a new barber, you got to let people know where you are, how good you are, and to give them come in and give you a chance, right? But it's not going to keep you busy long term, right? Because eventually the word will start to spread if you're not that good and you don't focus on the second piece that I'm going to cover in this video, that you're gonna have to keep marketing, right? And this transparently is why I feel like I've gotten pretty decent at marketing and why we get, over 300 new clients consistently now every single month, just like on autopilot. We've gotten pretty good at marketing, but the reason why is because it took me a long time to figure out like the most important thing, what I'm gonna try to communicate in this video, which is that retention is the most important thing in business, right? So marketing is what you need to get started, but it's not what's going to take you to the next level. If you want to get your shop from barely doing six figures to seven figures and beyond, then you have to start creating retention systems so that once you get a client in the door with marketing, then you get them to come back, right? Because every client that you keep is one less client that you have to go out and look for a new one to replace. And I know that marketing is exciting. It's certainly one of my favorite things in the world to talk about and to do. But honestly, like the biggest businesses and just the most experienced business people in general tend to focus on retention, right? Because a business that retains its client doesn't even have to be good at marketing, right? Because it's the same people, the people aren't leaving, right? So you don't have to be even good at marketing if you are just keeping the same clients coming back over and over and over again. So, in this video, what I'm going to talk about is one of the what I call the laws of barbering, which is the ability to attract clients will fill your chair in the short term, but retaining clients is what's going to keep you busy in the long term. So, always looking for new clients. It's exciting. Yeah, I get it. It's cool when it works, but the money is made from your repeat business, the people that have been supporting you for years and that keep coming back, right? These new clients come and go. This guy was just in town for work, whatever. So, new clients aren't going to be the thing that keeps your shop busy and that gets your shop to the next level. It's going to be the loyal clients that coming back for years and years and continue to visit you and keep your cheerful. So I think that you focus on marketing in the short term, like I mentioned, but in the long term, you have to figure out how do I keep the same people coming back? And I'll cover some ways that we figured out how to do that in this video. But just so you guys know that I'm not just straight up lying. So this is a real report from my system. I use Zenati to run my barbershop. And so this is our May retention report. So as you can see at both of these shops, I have two shops right now. We got over 164 new clients at our new location in May. And then in May, we also got 182 clients in at our Southside location. So combined, that was well over 300 new clients, right? And that was for May, right? And I start with May because I wanted to show you guys this right here. So we are retaining right now as a shop um, over 82% of all of our repeat clients, right? And so new clients are also way harder to retain. So this is why I'm just hopefully make this point in this video that you don't want to focus on only getting new clients all the time because they're expensive. You have to run ads to get them in the door. They are very likely not going to come back, right? I mean, it is possible to get this new client retention up. I know my new client retention is pretty good. I've seen it get into the 50s, even 60% range. But compared to 80, like, which would you rather have, right? So it is important to get new clients too, because you're not gonna like be able to keep all of the clients that come in, right? So you always want to be marketing for clients. So I don't think that you should take this away that you should stop marketing. That's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say is that I think you would get a better return on your effort, a better return on your money, a better return on your time by focusing on how do I get the clients that already come to me to keep coming back, come back more frequently, come back longer, to spend more, right? Because all of that is going to give you a way better return on your existing clients, right? And what's cool about once you figure that out, once you have a system of retention for repeat clients, new clients, the ones that you retain, actually turn into repeat clients. So this will actually help you with new clients too. So usually when we do things to improve repeat client retention, it also ends up um, it also ends up improving our new client retention. So that's pretty cool. But I just wanted to show you, like, this is an actual report from my system from May of this year. I'm making this video in September of 2025. So we have to wait 90 days before we consider our retention accurate. That's the way we do it. And yeah, so we got lots of new clients, right? But in this case, around 30% came back. So 3 out of 10. And that's the other downside with marketing and constantly always looking for new clients is that you may not even like the types of clients that you're attracting with your marketing. And this is kind of crazy to think, but this is like what I see. I used to spend, $10,000 a month or more on Facebook ads and Google ads and all this shit, right? But what I see this is that when you are constantly running ads and you're always just focused on getting new clients, how do I get more new clients? You're not always going to like the new clients that come in, right? Because these are people that sometimes are looking for a deal, for a discount if you're offering a discount. So these aren't like super high quality clients. Or in some cases, they're people that don't even live here. So that's going to fuck up your retention, right? Because they're not going to come back. So I noticed, and this is one of the main complaints that I get from my barbers, and I see it. And this is one of the reasons why we've dialed down our budget. But we also dialed it down because we've increased our retention, so we don't need as many new clients, right? So our new client numbers might drop, but it's fine if that means more room for repeat clients, right? Which is what we want. But when you're always looking for new clients, you could be attracting people that you don't like, don't live there, so they're not going to help your business, right? You paid to get that person in the door, and then they're not going to come back, even if they love that experience, just because they don't live there. They're just in town for a wedding, they're just in town for work, they're just passing through, they're just visiting, whatever, right? You don't want people coming into your shop, ideally, that don't live there or that don't want to pay full price for your haircut, right? So this is why I'm focusing on repeat clients, the ones that are willing to come back, that do live there. That's where you're going to get a better return on investment. And just to show you last month, our retention is not going to be accurate, but if I go to August, since we just finished up August, I'll show you, like, last month too, we got over 300 new clients. And if I go to July, right, over 300, right? So every single month we're getting over 300 new clients pretty consistently. But I'm actually willing to let that number drop down a little bit, just for the sake of helping to improve our repeat client retention even further, right? And it's really, when it comes to marketing, it is a quality game for sure. It's also a quantity game, like, because if you can figure out how to get the targeting dialed in for the ads, which I talk about this in my meta ads course, which is inside my Barber Skool community. I have a whole course about how I run ads and how we get over 300 new clients a month. The link to that's in the bio, wherever you're watching this. But So I know how to get new clients. Like it's not a problem at this point. The issue is like if you can't convert those new clients into repeats, then you are always going to be looking for new clients, which sucks. That's trust me, that's not the business you want to be in. And the reason why I was able to cut my ad spend by 55% last month, and we still got over a new client, over 300 new clients, was because we're retaining the clients that are coming in already, right? So, what can you do to increase client retention? Well, there's a couple things that we've found. Oh, I thought I had it written down somewhere, but basically, if you have uh, first of all, the most important thing, 80% of, I think, whether somebody decides to come back or not is they just were happy with their overall experience, right? So it's really just about meeting the expectations that you're putting out there, right? So if you're claiming that this haircut is this certain price, charge that price. If you're claiming that it's going to take about this much time, take about that much time, right? Shit happens. I know I'm a barber. I get it too. But like you want to try to meet expectations because most people aren't even doing that. If they have an appointment at a certain time, make sure to try to take them back at that time. Yeah, I get it. It's not always going to be possible, but these are the things that affect retention. And I know barbers don't believe me, but I've been doing this for 10 years and I've seen hundreds of barbers come and go in my shop and I see the ones that succeed and the ones that don't. And trust me, it has very little to do with how good they are at cutting hair. It's really about 100 little things, not one big thing, which was what we focus on in barber school, which is how good of a fade can you do. That is important, but it's not everything, right? So I think that just meeting the expectations that you're putting out there with your marketing is the first step, right? So that's going to be like 80% of it, right? And then the next little tactics, the things that you guys probably want to know, like the things that help once you've got like a good team and you've got a good system going and your barbers are putting out good haircuts, it's really about just like setting up systems to how can we get clients to come back and incentivize them to come back. So one of the I'll start with some free stuff. So I mean just getting them to rebook their next appointment before they leave, surprisingly very effective. This is tough to do if you're always like slow, right? Because they know you're not busy. Like people can go onto your booking link if you have an online booking and they can see like, oh, if I can book an appointment with him today or her today, why do I need to plan my next one like 3 months from now? So they know these things and they might not be consciously thinking about it and or aware of it, but they are thinking this, and this is why you get resistance when you try to rebook people in the beginning when you're just getting started, right? Because they know, so they don't have to rebook. And sometimes you're also rebooking trying to rebook people that just by nature they're last minute, right? They're new clients, they walked in, they book last minute, so these are like last minute type people that you're trying to rebook, so you have to like change their behavior as a client, which is tough, right? It's tough to do, but it is possible. Like if you start getting busy, you're gonna start to notice that getting getting clients to rebook is not gonna be as hard as it used to be, right? Because now you can say, and they know because they can see your schedule that you're busy, right? So getting clients to rebook is one of the easiest things that anybody can start doing right now to get clients to come back and to get them to come back more regularly too. I actually have a whole course on rebooking in this community. But anyways, very easy, something anybody can do right now. Another thing that you can do to get clients keep coming back is you can do some sort of loyalty program. I'm not a fan of loyalty programs because it tends to only reward people that were already planning on coming back anyways. But some people do it, some people are fans of it, and it is a lot less headache to set up than a membership program, which is what we do. So we have a membership at our barbershop where people can pay monthly or yearly for their haircuts and they get a discount. But how we benefit from that is that we get a long term client out of it. So clients are coming back more frequently, they're spending more money, and they stay longer. So on average, we see that clients that are on a membership program with our shop end up spending almost 3 times more than a client who doesn't have a membership, right? And the reason why they spend more is because they come back longer, right? Because you might be thinking, well, how is somebody that's spending less end up spending more money? It's because they come back longer, right? Because think about what's more, right? $800 or 300. I'm gonna take a second to let you guys answer that question. What's more money, 800 or 300? Some of you probably said 800, right? So that is actually what is called lifetime value. So the lifetime value of a client who at our shop who's on a membership on average spends about $800 over their lifetime versus somebody who doesn't have a membership who usually spends about 300 before they bounce, right? So this is why it's super important for our shop to get as many people on the membership program as possible. Even though they're paying less for their haircuts when they come in, they actually end up spending way more money. But the most important thing is that we retain them long term, which is why we're able to start reducing our ad budget and we don't have to be looking and be dependent on new clients anymore because we're keeping more of the clients that are coming back. And my team has done an amazing job at doing this. And there's like little things like saying hi and taking notes, right? These are all like a lot of these things are free. Like memberships are super advanced. It's not going to be like the thing that I recommend for every barbershop owner out there. But it is a strategy that we've used and we've implemented and it's been super successful. But a lot of people probably aren't ready for our memberships yet. It's a super advanced strategy, but these other things like getting clients to rebook, keeping notes on your clients so that you remember their haircut, even taking pictures and sending it to them so that they can show you like this was perfect last time. Do the same thing. Um, Keeping personal notes on them, like what they do for work, what they like to talk about, their kids' names, things like that. These are all things that are free, that are extremely effective. But yes, you got to provide a good experience and a good quality service first. But if you can build on top of that, it's going to make people way more likely to come back to you. And so that is, I think, way more important than just the ability to look for new clients, right? Because anybody can run an ad too. So that's the thing. Like anybody can copy what you're doing when it comes to marketing. Not everybody's going to be able to copy your retention systems. So I think that if you really want to build your shop or keep your chair full, if you're a barber working for somebody else, then you have to focus on the things that happen inside those four walls when they're inside your shop. So building retention systems so that the same clients keep coming back over and over and over again so that you don't have to always be looking for new clients. And then if you do figure out the retention, then you can, and then you add marketing on top of that. That's when your business blows up, right? That's when it goes from, you can go from one location to two to 10 and beyond, right? It's because you figured out a way to not only get people in the door, but keep them coming back. So I think that this is super effective. I mean, I think that the next thing that we're going to talk about in our next video is how to think long term, because these laws are all over the place. But one thing that I want to cover in my next video for you guys in this series of the law of barbering is how thinking long term is usually the best strategy, because this absolutely relates to retention, right? In the beginning, when you just need clients in the door, it's going to be kind of hard to think long term. So just figure out your marketing systems. You can join my group and you can talk to 3,000 plus other barbers here that we're all trying to figure this out together, right? How to get people in the door. But eventually you got to start thinking long term. It's hard to do that if you're just getting started or you're barely getting by or you're even losing money. I get it. I've been there. But thinking long term is usually the best strategy. And that's what I'm going to probably cover in my next video in this series of barbering. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you want to join my free community that I've referenced a few times, there's probably a link in the bio wherever you're watching this. And if you found this helpful and you feel like this will help somebody else, then do me a favor and just hit that share button, send it to somebody else. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.